Hello, beautiful souls, back again. I've done the new moon solar eclipse forecast for the 17th of February 2026, and I wanted to talk about the chart of President Donald Trump because it falls exactly on what's called the descendant. You've probably heard of the ascendant when you talk about someone's rising sign. So that gives the chart for the person, that's called their natal chart. The ascendant determines the rising sign. And for President Donald Trump, that sign is Leo. And that means the opposite sign is Aquarius. And if we look over here, his descendant is at the final degree of Aquarius here, 29th degree. And this little like X in a box here, in a circle, is called the part of fortune. And here's the eclipse right next to it. So this is just happening on this particular day. When this eclipse happens, eclipses are they're turning points. They are when the universe shakes us up on our path and puts us into a new trajectory. So this is really important for the collective and for humanity at large, but it's also indicating that it is a lucky spot for President Donald Trump, and there are going to be things going on for the collective which are about the awakening of all of humanity and freedom awakening. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. Uranus is in the sign of Taurus, and it's up here, and it is squaring this eclipse here. So to summarize it all, don't be surprised if there's significant things going on the global stage which are so transformational that people will kind of be left with their heads spinning a little bit. The Sabian symbol associated with this degree of the eclipse is the 29th degree of Aquarius, and it is a butterfly emerging from a chrysalis. So we are emerging from our experience as humans in one way on the earth to a new kind of experience, and we have to hope and pray that it's all positive. I'm going to say it is. We are being guided by higher beings. We are being guided by higher consciousness. So don't get into fear and don't get into condemnation either. Whenever I mention the name Donald Trump, people will say quite negative things about him generally, and that's because there's a lot of negativity about him in the media. Over here we have the sign Saturn and Neptune, and they've just moved into the first degree of Aries, which is the sense of I am. So it's about your own sovereignty. So we're in a period now of freedom, sovereignty, recognizing the sovereignty of the individual, our right to exist, our right to free expression and free agency. And so this new moon is a time to think about what you want more of going forward in your life. And if you notice that we have the North Node in Pisces here, and Venus also in Pisces, Mercury is in Pisces as well. But these ones, the Venus and the North Node, this is about connecting with your soul tribe. So it's almost like the 7th house is relationships or relating. It can also be open enemies, but it's also about how we relate to others and how others relate to us. And so there's a sense almost like of a gathering of a tribe, so a soul tribe. And I'm going to see this as a positive thing, because we need to look at it on a spiritual basis. And that Venus conjunct the North Node is, the Sabian symbol there is a jockey taking off at great speed. So this is about things happening really quickly. You may have to make very spur of the moment decisions. Trust your gut, trust your instincts, and also prepare beforehand. Start to tune in, start to meditate, start to ask your guides for answers, for directions about what's coming up, how best to utilize this energy, and don't get into fear. That is the worst thing you can do, is get into fear. If you start to feel fearful, go and sit in the garden and listen to the birds, and just try to relax your nervous system and realize that we're living in a universe, a living universe, and that we are a part of that, and that we are all connected as well. And so there are no enemies, there are no friends. We are all one. We are just operating in different compartments, but we are actually all part of the unity of existence. All right, darlings, I hope that was helpful. You might like to share it if you found it useful. And I have a YouTube channel if you want to follow me on there. Or perhaps share it on YouTube so that I can start to get a bigger audience. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of work to do with this stuff, and it's all new technology, and it's exciting. All right, darlings. Just before we go, I'm going to draw a Mother Mary card for this. Some guidance for this new moon eclipse, and then Our Lady of the Abundant Garden. Beautiful. So here she is. For every need that you have, there are ample channels through which that need can be fulfilled. You can delight in your life and enjoy all the riches that are available to you. If you only open your heart and release your fear, it is habit, not reality, that keeps you uncertain. Trust in our Mother, and you shall be nourished in her living garden of love. All right? So don't get into fear. Trust the process. And have a great eclipse. Take care, lovelies.